Rock and roll, the streets begin. Fleshy, fleshy by the oceans. Why do our eyes have to be blue? Why do our eyes have to be brown? What makes up the pigmentation? If you look close into this eye, I think you can actually see dots. Fleshy robotic. I choose to be here. I made a choice. Is it hurting me? Am I teaching anybody to have the same vision? But through the vision, what is the complete vision? What is the global vision of this? Is where every word is a code for another word, for a word of the same word, let's say, with, as I said in a previous video, an altered definition or a complete different definition. When you just say, I went to the bathroom, did I go to two bathrooms? Is it because I went to and I came from? So if you went to, did you come from? You came from where before you went to, and where did you go to after? Or are you still there? Who decides that I'm doing these videos? Who decides how I set up Hollywood? I set up Hollywood, and if I can act the part, it's because I deeply believe in the part I portray. I was just working on a piece before. I'm going to throw a few numbers at you. I don't know if you see it backwards or not. When I say 60, okay, that's one thing. It's soixante, it's one word. But when I go into the 70s, I'm going 60 and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, in which, as I say 70, I will now say again at 77, 78, 79. That means between 70, okay, and 76 equals to the totality of everything in between, equaling to your cube, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since the 0 is the cube of 10, saying I bring to you all 10. Therefore, for me, it's a diamond 10. Because it's not on any side at all. So it'll be the diamond 10. And now I'm just trying to think, there is no 10, but that means there must be two cubes. Now, why do I say 10? Each cube being 5? If I have 6 sides to a cube, okay, and the total is 21 when added, what is the average? The average is 3.5. 3.5 times 6. Where's the equation? Where's the equation? Do you see the equation? I'm trying to see if I can see it myself. Yeah, there it is. It's backwards. 3.5 times 6. 6 divided by 21. 6 divided by 3 is not different. 2 plus 1 equals 3 equals to 0.5. So one way it's 3.5, the other one it's 0.5. Now if I add it to a single digit, am I adding it to a single die? And what is the representation? What is the representation of 5? I look dark for some reason. Everything looks darker. So time and beginning. The sky world dance of the electrified, the fence, the electrified field, the electrofield, the electrofield, the electrified. John Tier Ter Volta. Vol, what does it mean? Does it mean to fly? Does it mean to rob? Because a bird vols, it flies. I said another word today that was funny. I don't remember what it was. But anyways, there's John Travolta and Olivia for life. The Newton, John, Newton, Newton, New World, New Teen. E and A is an O, and O is an E and an A. So if I say the C, I say so. I say half. So if I'm saying half at 0, 50 is a combination of 10 and 2 20s. That's the way it's made up. That's a 50. It can also be a 30 and a 20, and it's the explanation in games between the dice and the card, how they're formatted on the card. Okay? They don't have a 2 card the way it looks, it shows 2 sides. They have a 5 card that doesn't show the 2 card, but it does show the 1 card. They have the 3 card that also shows the 1 card. So you assume if the 2 is in the center card on the 3 card with the 1 in the center, you assume as side to side as above and below. So you go this corner, and this corner, and this corner on the cube. And then when they do that and they put it to a card, because you have the square, right? Now you need 2 more below to replica. You don't have to replica the heart, because the heart, the conjunction between the 2 sides, you only have to replicate the other side, so you only need 1 more. So it's 1 and 1. The 1 juncture to the 1 replica of the one that existed before, prior to being the fleshy robotic. Time and begin. B-E-T, begin and time. The second letter is I-N-E. So in 9, in new, in benign. And then the next one is M-D-I, mid, in the middle of the flight, the mid pattern. And the next one, there's no letters, so it's E blank. And sorry, I'm reading off this board here. T-B-E-T, and then E-N-I, any, Inuit, unit. And then you would go to the third one is G, and then the third one here is G-N-M, and I'm looking at it backwards, and I'm getting sick. So these are just crazy things that I put together. Anyways, we did 60. So 60 goes from 61, okay, all over to 66. And when you add 1 through 6, it equals to 21, including the cube. And 1 through 6 equals to those 6 tens, equals to 60 itself. Whoa, I hope it didn't shut off. Oh, it didn't shut off. So what I'm trying to say, I'm just going to hold it up, is that 60 is the level, right? Although we count it as a whole because we count 9 as the end, 60 is the area place, and the place itself takes up. So when you get to 70, 70 is 60 and the area of 10. And then everything inside of the 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now if you count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, it equals to a total of 21. When you count the total of 60 and all the 10s, 60, 10, 11 just counted 10 and 1, and 12 counted 10 and 2, and 13 counted as like 60 plus 13 is 73. In French, you would say 60 and then 13. Okay, 13, it becomes a teen. It's a 12, and then a 13, it becomes a teen. Okay, 13 all the way to 19, but in French, it only changes things when it gets to 17. So I'm assimilating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equaling to 21, and then the 6 tens that come before it, equaling to 60 and 21 equals to 81, and that's equal to Venus. Now when you get to 81, okay, they now say 4 times 20 equals to 80 in French. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll equal to the same thing. It will equal to 21. And then the 60 will add on to the 80, will be 140, and 21 will be 161. The spirit is 76, the half-life, the 60 and 80, 140 and 21. Why is it that? Because you're only adding to the 6. You're adding 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. You're not saying, how can I say this? When you say in the 70s, you're saying and 10. When you count into the 80s, you're saying 4 times 20. But when you get into the 90s, you add the 10 back again. So the 70s and the 90s come to the same formation in speaking in French and writing and speaking in French about the numeric values. Okay? Another thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm still talking about the same thing, where the E and the A become the O. So when we looked at anything about John Travolta, was it John Travolta? Olivia Newton-John, John Travolta, Volta, Volts, right? The dance, the electrified, he's been electrified, and the movie is Grease, but the E and the A becomes an O, and now you have a rose. You have the gear, you have the moon, you have the spirit and you have the electronic or the e-spirit. Now, I'm not sure if that's the one who transforms us or if that's how it's located into the fleshy robotic. See those two things? They're both in the same eye to eye. You see where the M brings them together in love? So many things in this world is not because of what I create, but what I see that has already been created. Raphael, through my eyes, and there is reality, truth, existence to everything I speak, other than the mistakes that I can possibly made or the differences that we may have that can be debunked as complete BS, or you can't explain it, which means it's viable and it's already happened here before. All these calculations I do are calculations done by others. I haven't begun anything myself other than putting together a few minor things. We're saying this is a plus, this is a multiply, put them over each other. I got 8 directions. But in hats, what do I have to a vibration? Because if I connect every second one together, how can I mark this out? If I can connect, I have to go on the table here. Let me do this. Can you see that? You see, although you got the star right, but if I connect these two and these two and these two and these two, that's what I have now. I had 8, but it only looks like 4. And they call that the sun of Pluto. That's a story, man. It's not me. I'll take you right through that. You want to know where it comes from? The word sun. 19 plus 15 plus 14. That's 29 and 19. 48. Pluto, 16 and 12 and 21. That's 33, 49. And the T for 20 is 69. And the O for 15. And that's 84. You're talking about man's rotation in the sun. 84, 48. 4 and 8, 12, 1 and 2, 3, 33. 33 equals to the word mass. Christ equals to the numeric value 77. And if you look at the last 3 letters, it says 1ST, spirit of time. It's a system we live in, my friends. It's the greatest thing in the world to know. Now we have to be able to get back to the link, to that direct link where we can think and know, because death is not the end of the real life. No one wants to forget, and that's the real life. And living with the good vibration for existence and a reason to live. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I think this is a great picture. Let me see, I want to get that room in there. Can I move into that? Too much light in there? If I move back? Okay, end the movie.